I am well. Thank you for talking to me. These characters are always so fun to watch, and it's always so fun to watch this world because I don't have to live in it. Because it just seems like it would be, you'd be risking your life on a daily basis.
Yeah, be difficult.
Could you
I
ever
agree.
have imagined that you would be saying huzzah so many times in one job? And is there anyone that keeps a running counter for how many times you guys have to say it?
Oh, I wish I think
You wish there was
I
someone
wish
whose
there was
job it
someone,
was
yes,
just to
just
count
there to
huzzas
tally. Just that's it.
on a big chalkboard in the
Yeah.
corner of the studio.
Yeah. One. Yeah, that would be fun. A bell dings. Gosh, no. I don't think I really could have ever dreamed of a role so great or a job so amazing with a script like this. And I couldn't, it's kind of out of your capacity of dreaming that up. Like things like this just happen, and I think they're meant to, and they come to you, and it's very instinctual and right. And it's just everything about this is so harmonious and right. The cast, we love each other so much. Everyone's like beyond talented, like in front of the camera, behind the camera. It's just like it's the most fun show ever. I vote that I'm like, out of any show, I think we have the best set. I really do. I would bet on that.
These characters are so big and bold and over the top. Do you miss playing them in between seasons, or is it a character that you're happy to pack away and take a break from for a little bit?
It's really, you know what? It's overall really, really fun. And it's not, because it's so well written and such a joy to play them, it's not taxing. Like, obviously, there's times where it's difficult and takes a lot in a really fun way that's enjoyable. But so it's not, I do kind of miss,
I kind of miss it
I
too.
kind of miss the process and what the environment is. And,
Yeah.
Not saying that I'm like, oh, I want to be like that character all the time. But at the same time, that world to inhabit it is a wonderful place to get to kind of go and play. So it's I do miss it a lot, but
yeah, I do. I miss the freedom, like in a way that we have, that we can kind of push the limits and can kind of do anything. And that's like very rare, I think, in movies. So I feel that way. At least this, especially it opened up. I think this second season, everyone was really like there to play. And it was just so fun. I don't know, it's like so boring. Fun. It's such a boring word to describe such a show like this, but it is. I do miss it. I'm on another job now that is great, but I'm like,
but
God,
you hate it.
no,
You're miserable because it's not this.
No, but it's like,
and I'm not there.
That's right. But it's like it's so different. I'm like, I miss Catherine. I really do. I've never had that with a character. What normally I'm like, oh, that's good, that's done, fine, and that was a good experience. But I genuinely actually do, and I think of things often of like things I could do in the show as her. Weirdly, like, I could do that next season or whatever.
There seems to be a real theme of slapping this season. What's it like to do a scene where you have to slap yourself? And I mean, you have to do that multiple times this season, and you're slapping other people and you're getting slapped. And I mean, what is it like to do all of that?
I know. I kind of loved it. I don't know. I was like, well, there was a stunt coordinator on set, and it's like Catherine has this thing that she punches herself every time she gets emotional, especially, or gets overwhelmed, or she's thinking about Leo. She kind of like choke down her emotions. And I don't know, I would just like put my rings on the other hand and haul off and punch myself in the face. And then the stunt coordinator was just like, oh my God, like, you can't do that. Like, no, do it fake. And I was like, it can't be fake. Like, it's on camera. Like, it's fine. Something, I don't know about it. We always try to do a real slap in the take if we're with other people. I think in the pilot, I accidentally slapped you.
There was a take when
but yeah, I did. And then we always try to do one. We're not doing it over and over again. I mean,
there's at least one or two takes where we're like, do a real slap.
Yeah, they'll be like, with Belinda, she's like, please just slap me. Like, let's do it. And like,
please,
just please. And we just do. So we at least have one real one.
Yeah.
Nicholas, how weird is it for you to have all of the lookalikes around set? Because some of them really do look a lot like you.
Who would you have in particular?
There's one that really looks like me, which is bizarre. It's a really fun storyline that Tony came up with of these, and it is actually kind of strangely based on truth that the Valery Pugachev, this guy, did actually kind of mount kind of tried to take the throne from Catherine, because I guess he somewhat resembled Peter from like paintings, and he just kind of went with it and was like, yeah, I am him, and then got supporters and kind of tried a military takeover sort of thing. So it's a fun kind of based on truth.
There was a lot of tall, broad,
dashing
guys
men running around. I was in my element. I was looking at them and I was like, this is it. I've made it finally. It was funny because also it's like it's like bits of Peter's costume, bits of Pugachev's costume, and also it's just funny because there's this idea that Peter has of that Catherine would never kill him, and it's clearly put false, because the second he sends most lookalikes out, they get shot immediately.
I guess she kind of she knows it's not you, instinctually.
Maybe.
I don't know.
You can tell people that.
Yeah.
Well, these two are left in quite an interesting place by the end of the season. What would you say about their state of mind and how that could affect things into season 3?
It's going to be interesting. I don't know. I mean, it's like there's a lot of things we can't say. I really want to know what Tony's going to write because, if we get to do that.
It's kind of left in a spot where I don't think either of them
go in a lot of different ways.
Could know how to move forward.
That's right.
And I think that's what happens in a lot of relationships anyway. It's like there starts to be so much history in life and baggage, for lack of a better term, that it's very difficult to see a future. And I think that's what starts to happen to Catherine and Peter. There's obviously throughout these first 2 seasons a lot of love and admiration and wonderful things between them, but also truly horrendous stuff as well. And they're now parenting together, but there's a lot of truth of what she's tried to do to him and what he has done to her that you can't move past overall, perhaps. So we'll see.
But I mean, Catherine has moved past a lot with him.
Forgiven a lot.
I've forgiven a lot. So maybe, I don't know. I don't know if we'll see. I'm interested to see.
I love the little moment between the two of you in episode 5 where you're dancing together without music in the bedroom. There's just something so sweet about that moment between them. It feels like there isn't any manipulation involved, like there often is. Was that a fun moment to shoot when you have all this chaos going on and these two people who always want to kill each other? Is it nice to just have a sweet moment between them?
Yeah, it's really nice. We also, I love when we get to do the dancing in the show because they're always like kind of these odd little funky dances that we get to learn. Normally at the end of long shoot days, they're like, can you go in one of the sets and just learn this dance real quick? We're like, oh, okay. Learn it quickly and do it. But that's I know that it's at the end of that episode. And I think that's a lot. That's kind of, it's halfway in the season. I think it's a turning point for Catherine. I mean, she's obviously really trying to suppress how she's feeling, or she's actually kind of confused. She's like, how am I really feeling about this guy? Like, I thought I hated him. I wanted to kill him. And I'm like, I kind of like dancing with him. So like, what does that mean? And yeah, that was sweet. It's nice to honestly also have scenes where we don't have to say anything or memorize any lines. So to have like quiet moments like that where you can just, I don't know, show it's just in the eyes.
The quiet moments are good because it's also the scripts and the show is also always so dialogue heavy and sharp and with that. So when you do get a moment of peace or silence or just characters being together and enjoying each other's company without the back and forth and kind of that side of things, I think it's very powerful for that.
It also feels like on this show, if you forget a line, you could just swear and then it'll work because, I mean, that's how these characters are anyway.
I know. I think it's very specific, the swearing. Tony puts it in at very specific moments. It's delicate, peppered in, but all very thought through. Yeah.
Elle, you have multiple emotional breakdowns on this show this season. What are those scenes like for you to do? Do you have any specific preparation or any tricks that you do in those moments?
I mean, I don't know. I think it's something that's, I don't know. You kind of, I mean, you have to like, okay, like my family's like very sports, like everyone's in sports. So I kind of look at acting similarly to a sport. And it's like you have to get in whatever zone it is to like, all right, it's game day or like it's time, and you use the anxiety or the nerves and like use that to kind of get you so riled up that you kind of just explode. And I like that feeling of like teetering on the edge to finally be like, okay, boom. I don't know. It's something about it. It's hard to describe weird things like that, but yeah, it's kind of cathartic. And Catherine, I think those moments can be really shocking in the show too, when it's like the emotional punch.
Yeah.
Because I think that this show works well because it's funny, but it also really has, it has the heart too. And people, we hope they care.
Well, thank you guys for talking to me about it. You are both absolutely brilliant in these characters, so I hope we get lots more of them.
Thank you very much.